Welcome to the Helping Your Garden Grow video series. All of our support and all of our products that we sell online at Helping Your Garden Grow, everything's made in America. Most of it's right here in Michigan. Clematis are wonderful plants, but they need a good support system to really flourish. I've been trying to grow this one around my lamppost using strings and stakes, and as you can see, it has struggled. What I'm going to do now is use our tomato holders around the post to encompass the plant with it and to give it a secure place to grow. Try that with any other plant support. First thing to do is, using one of the sections, I install it to hold the plant upright. Each of the posts should be about 6 inches from the lamppost. This will set the correct spacing for the installation of the other sections. Using the same 6-inch spacing, I install each section, placing the upright 6 inches from the lamppost and right next to the adjoining upright. This will encompass the plant and give it a very secure platform in which to grow. The next thing we will do is install the clips to hold the sections together. We're going to push the clips from the inside of the tomato holder and snap them on each of the poles. And the lower clip should be just off the bottom rung like this, and then you just close these to lock. The upper clip is installed the same way. Farther up the poles, you clip them all the way to the back, and it should be about 4 to 5 inches from the top, which makes it easier to put the second level on. And then you just lock them in. To add the second level, what we're going to do is just open up the locking mechanism and make sure this is, about 4 or 5 inches from the top. And you're going to set the rung of the tomato holder right into these open ends of the clips, and the bottom will rest on the lower rung. Then you just lock these in like this, and you go around the plant doing the same thing. Now we're going to add the second section to give the clematis a lot of space to do what it really wants to do, and that's grow vertically. As you can see, it's very simple and easy to add this second level. Just open the locks on the clips, insert the upright into the open end of the clip, and close the locks. Go around the post doing the same procedure with every section. To finish, we will add the clips as we did on the lower level to hold it all together and give the clematis a wonderful platform in which to grow. We'll install the clips the same way we did on the lower rungs. We're just going to clip them on to hold these two sections together, and these just lock. Once again, we're going to add the second set of clips in here. Pops right on, and these just lock in. Here's our next season after we install the tomato holder, as we did last season. The plant was struggling last year. We took the ropes out and installed this tomato holder. Now, this is the springtime of the next season. You can see this plant has just overtaken this. It's not in bloom yet. This is going to be quite an amazing clematis when it's done, when it's full season. And it was so simple to do. It was a plant that was on string. It's going to encompass this lamppost. All right, we're going to show you another use of the marvelous tomato holder, the versatile plant support system. What we have here is budbane. Now these aren't even in bloom yet, and as you can see, they're already starting to droop, as I said before in the video. We had a pretty good rain, but they're beautiful plants. They have these wonderful pink stalks of flowers on each one of these heads when they bloom. But if it's like this before they bloom, I'm in trouble. So I'm going to try to be a little proactive and get this plant support up in here. You can use either this one or the Peony Pal, another large spiral plant support system. I'll show that a little later, but I'm going to show how easy it is to do this one. Now, once again, I'm just going to use last year's stuff because why not? It's very easy to do. Now I'm going to put this. The plant needs about 4 of them, so I'm just going to set these nice and firmly into the soil. I'm going to take the next section and I'm going to just hold this plant up a little bit. Yep. You want to get them all in there. And what you'll do is you'll just evenly space these posts, setting them right next to each other. Push them firmly into the soil. Now these are light plants compared to tomatoes. These were designed for tomato. Very strong. I mean, you can't bend these. So we're just going to keep adding these sections. Now the neat thing also is that as the plant grows, if these stalks get out, you just unclip them and put them back in. It's not like your old standard tomato cage where you're stuck with what it is. And we're just going to put this on this last section in here. Hold this up. Put the post right next to the other one. Right here too. Now you'll get, as you just install this once or twice, and you'll get real good at figuring out the spacing. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then what we'll do now is we'll just take the old clips from last year, and as we showed from before, always from the inside out, lock them together. Now these won't require a second level, so I can put these clips anywhere I want. Just clip them up. Now if you wanted to give this, if you wanted to have this a larger diameter, you just add an extra put an extra section in there, and it would spread it out a little bit. But I kind of like this plant the way it is. It's not not much bigger than this. Next year the spread will be a little larger, so I'll probably add a section. Just clip them together. And there you go. Now the plant's upright, blooms, it'll be perfect the whole rest of the season. Now if we do get any new shoots, you can undo this, or one of these come out and get longer. Just unclip the clips, pull the section off, put them in and put them back on. And you'll see down to here is that I can use them as a border, just like I did on the irises. Now this grass tends to grow towards the sun, of course. It's a little shady right now. It only gets sun about 7 hours a day, but it wants to grow over the top of my daylilies and the other plants I have in here. So what I've done is I've just used those as a border to hold the grass and keep it upright. This grass will get about 6 foot tall. And I don't want it encompassing, I don't want it going over, I want to see my other plants. So they're really, really handy and really versatile. Like these, when they're done blooming, cut off the blooms, I may move this to the next section. So you can just keep reusing these and finding new uses for them all the time, and you'll have them forever. Welcome to the Helping Your Garden Go video series. We're going to show you another use of the tomato holder. As you can see, we have quite a clump of irises here. It's late spring Michigan, getting a pretty good bloom here, but we had a rainstorm yesterday, and the irises are very similar to peonies, where the blooms are large, they get wet, they get heavy, and they fall down. We have several kinds of plant supports that will work on this. We have the Peony Pal, which will be a spiral, circular, and you can do individual plants, or on the tomato holders, which are extremely versatile, you can encompass this whole clump of irises and do it real simple and quick. And when these are done blooming, you take them out and move them to the next plant. So what I'm going to show you is that we have a series of holders from last year. We're just going to use those. They're reusable. They last for years and years, and they're really simple to use. And what I'm going to do is I'll do my irises right now, and you can see Oriental lilies right behind them. They're very similar. Once they get bloom. They're gonna topple over on the outside. So I'll just move them from here to here when these are done blooming. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna gently take these, hold them up, and we'll just let these rest in here for the time being. We'll take the next section. We'll take this next bloom, and we'll install a post right next to the post you just installed. Push this firmly into the soil, and just close enough where they're going to hold like this. We'll take the next section. We'll just lift these blooms up. I'm going to set this in here. Just bloom them up in here. And I didn't get it quite close enough, so I'm going to move this closer to the center of the plant. Push it a little deeper. We'll add a second one in between here in a second. We'll just keep moving around the plant doing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a nice big barrier around this to hold all these blooms up. And we'll just continue around a little bit to keep them up. And once you get this pretty much set the way you want it to look, then we'll go back and clip it all together, just to keep making it a little firmer. I still don't like how these are arranged. They're not quite close enough to the center of the plant, so I'm going to, once again, I'm going to move them in a little bit more so I get a better, and then I'm just going to clip them together. Now, since I'm not supporting a whole bunch of weight, put one on each segment, just to hold it together. And once again, you clip from the inside of the holder to the outside, and then just lock them in. Like that. Like this, you push them in all the way to the back, then just clip the locks. Push them in, put them together, put them. And there you go. Now I might just gently move this one to the outside, or you could shove the holder down a little further, whatever you'd like to do. But now I got the blooms off the ground, I get to see them, and there you go. When these are done blooming, you can move them to the next plant.